the tape for this, our main event of the evening. We introduce the champion, Chris, the West Side Strangler Brennan. Let's get it on!
Hey guys, welcome to another episode. We are going to cover the UFC 277 Dallas coming up this weekend. Pretty good card. It was billed at one point to be even a better card, and I think some fights fell off and moved around, and it's still pretty good. Unfortunately, PJ and I neither will be in town this weekend, so I won't get to see it.
It sucks.
I was bummed because James is here, Krause is here with Brandon Moreno.
Yep.
And he was going to come up, but I'm leaving in the morning tomorrow, so I won't even get to see him. So anyway, we'll cover the most of the main card.
First one you wanted to start off with was Ankalaev and Anthony Smith. And we've talked about Magomed before. This is another one of the Dagestan, right? Like,
yeah.
It's same.
He was one of the ones I got right.
Yes.
he what's his record? 14 or 17?
I think it's 17, but let me pull it up. And 17 and 1.
17-1. Anthony Smith is 34 or
36 and
16.
Yep.
This is, again, like, I love Anthony Smith, think he's awesome, great fighter. However, you get 16 losses on your record and you get familiar with losing, right? You found a way out 16 times.
Yeah.
And Ankalaev is 17-1.
That's right.
And I just don't, again, the pressure that those guys bring to the table, and he's a good striker also. I just think it's not going to be a favorable fight for Anthony. I think that the Ankalaev is going to take that. You know, if it's only a 3-round fight, it might go the distance. But I doubt it even goes the distance.
So if it matters, I'm looking at Anthony's last few fights. Win, Spawn, and I don't know a lot of these guys. Win against a guy named Crute. This was in 2021. Another win. A loss. When you go back, 4 out of his last 5 fights, he's won. So
yeah.
he has. I mean, he is on I'll call it a hot streak. But
sure.
He has been successful as of late.
He hasn't fought the caliber that he was once fighting, and I think he's lost on the ones that he has. He wasn't the same guy after he lost to John Jones.
Yeah.
He stood with John Jones for 5 rounds and didn't do much. Everyone expected a lot out of him, and he didn't do a lot. It was actually a pretty boring fight, and then he just kind of got picked apart. But he's a good fighter. I think he's hot and cold.
Okay. And you think Magomedov is going to cool him off a little bit?
He's obviously always
Magomed.
hot.
I said Magomedov. Magomed, Ankalaev. Yeah. Anything? I mean,
When was his loss?
let me see if I can find it here really quick.
17 fights ago.
Yeah, it might be.
It's something. I thought it was something early, but I'm not sure.
When I'm just gonna see how far back it goes. I got to load up a few more here, but it goes back pretty deep.
Yeah.
It's going back.
Yeah.
It actually on UFC's website, it actually doesn't go back deep enough to show where.
Yeah,
it
and
is,
he hasn't
so
lost in the UFC then.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I think that's it might be a good fight, but it's not going to be. I don't believe it's going to be a close fight.
Skipping the next fight, we're going to move to Sergey Pavlovich versus Derrick Lewis. We got number 5 versus number 11 here.
It's another fight. Like Derrick Lewis, he said he didn't want to fight in Texas anymore, or at least in Houston, so he's not fighting in Houston, and he's in Dallas. Gets a lot of pressure put on him. He's got a lot of fans here.
Yep.
He's not an awesome fighter, right? He's very tough, hits really hard. He finds a way to get back to his feet. Really strange. Like I was live, and I believe I was in Austin, and he lost every minute of this fight until there was 30 seconds left in the fight. He gets back to his feet and knocks a guy out. And I was sitting there, I was like, are you kidding me? The crowd went absolutely wild.
Sure.
And I was like, are you kidding me? Did he really just do that? And, I thought he just got knocked out by somebody. I forget who knocked him out last, but it happened in Houston. And he just doesn't look great. when he's the one getting hit, he doesn't look great.
Tuivasa.
Oh, that's right. And
How do you forget
we
that?
talked about that fight.
Yeah.
But that was, both knockout power. I'm not sure what this guy's power is like that he's fighting, but he's also another guy and one, right? One loss.
15-1.
15-1. Derrick Lewis has how many losses? 9.
9. Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah, he's fought a lot. Derrick Lewis fought a lot of top guys. He's been in the heavyweight division for quite a while in the UFC and fought the who's who of that division. Lost a boring decision to Ngannou. He can last. He can also knock anybody out in that division.
For sure.
He can easily touch and knock out anybody in that heavyweight division. The way he's built, he's not a super athlete. He's fast. He throws head kicks. He's very strange looking to be able to do the things he does, built the way he is.
Right.
I just don't think he stops the takedowns well enough. And I don't know. I know that everyone knows what you have to watch out for. Big hands, big, heavy.
Especially it seems like the
upperhand
uppercuts is
Yep.
where he gets you.
And so I think when you're that one-dimensional, when you're looking for that one thing the entire time, I think it starts to become easier to stop.
Is there a cap in the heavyweight division?
Yeah.
What's that cap at?
Pretty light. It's 265.
Okay. Because they've got him listed walking around at 282.
Yeah.
They've got Sergey walking around at 254. I'm assuming he's probably not going to be if you said it's 265, that
yeah.
they can get to.
So you get guys like Brock Lesnar who are walking at 315 plus and cutting to 265.
Jeez.
The heavyweight division in wrestling and collegiate wrestling is 285.
Okay.
So even those guys that have been wrestling there, when they want to come fight, they've got to then lose 20 more pounds. It is a lot of weight. 265 is not that heavy of a weight class for a heavyweight division. But I guess it's trying to keep people as athletic as possible, by not allowing a 300-pounder.
Yeah.
But there are some guys, there are some big boys that sit around that area, but the problem is they'd have to make another weight class because it's not fair for a guy that's 225 to fight a guy even heavier than 265, right?
What is light heavy cap at?
205.
205. So you got 205 and then all the way up to 265. So
Yeah.
that's a
It's giant.
that's a giant spread
Yeah.
right there. Okay.
Yeah, they go by 10 pounds at the bottom half, and then as they get to 55, they jump 15 pounds to 70.
Yep.
Then jump 15 to 85, then jump 20 to 205, and then after that it's a 60-pound weight class.
So, like you were saying, Derrick is a little bit of a one-trick pony. Does he have? I mean, everybody's got a little bit of a ground game when you're in the UFC, but does he have any ground game?
His ground game is explosive to get back to the feet.
Okay.
He's trying to get back to the feet. He's not armbarring somebody, or triangling somebody.
Sure.
that'd be amazing.
That would be.
Who's the underdog?
Hold on.
It's got to be Derrick Lewis at this point.
It is, but it's
Close.
pretty close. It's minus 125 for Pavlovich and plus 105 for Derrick
Okay.
Lewis. So
Not
it's
bad.
It's pretty close. When you have somebody the size of Derrick Lewis, is it hard to keep him on the ground?
Sure. I mean, this guy, hypothetically, let's say this guy's a grappler.
Okay.
If he got him down and landed in side control, he could probably sit there and hang out all night, right? But if he tries to do anything, that's the moment he's going to explode.
Okay.
So that's the problem with getting a guy like Derrick Lewis on the ground and getting to a position. You need to be busy hitting him, but also trying to figure out how to keep him on the ground while you're hitting him. He's a guy that may just start taking your punches while he turtles and stands up,
Yeah.
So you have to have at least one leg to leg ride while you're punching him, a wrist, to punch him. But at the same time, again, I've gone over this with my guys. The best time for you to get up is when the guy starts punching. If he's trying to hold you and jiu-jitsu you, that's going to be your hardest time to get up.
Sure.
Wrestle you. But when he starts striking, that's the time to get up.
Because they're letting go of you.
He's
by
letting go of
definition.
something to punch you.
Sure.
Right? And that's where that space is going to come from, and that's your time to go. So that's been a great challenge coaching Luke is you still have to find a way to punch when you're the one on top.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So don't be afraid of the guy getting up. These are where we create handles and grips and stuff to hold the guy while punching.
And if I remember right, even in Luke's last fight, there were definitely times where he was on top, had control, and started working on the body a little bit.
Got that one leg right on the back.
Yep. So you've got Sergey Pavlovich in this one. You think it's going to be a decision? You think it goes?
I mean, it could definitely. Can you tell me how he's won his fights?
Yeah,
Any of them?
Let me see if I can pull that up. I'm not sure if it'll say how he's run. It shows. I should have done more research on this.
Say TKO or something.
Okay, so striking action. Oh, you know what? Actually, let me go back to one other thing because I think I can actually see. Win by. Okay, so win by TKO 80%, decision 20%. The dude subbed nobody.
Okay. So that is where the even money starts to come into play, because even though he's the favorite, Derrick Lewis always has that chance. So if this guy's more of a striker, Derrick Lewis always has that chance.
So if this isn't telling, Derrick Lewis has a better takedown percentage than Sergey does.
Okay. Where's Sergey from?
Russia.
Yeah.
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 Just says Russia. I don't know where, but yeah, it looks like this dude is a striker for sure. And when you look at the grappling, I mean, he has no takedowns. His takedown defense is solid. He's got 66% in his takedown defense. But he's not. He wants to stand and bang with you based off of what I'm seeing by the stats.
What's Derrick Lewis's takedown defense?
55%.
To be honest, it's not bad with the guys that he's fought. Like Derrick Lewis has fought the cream of the crop in the heavyweight division.
He's stopping one out of every 2 takedowns.
Yeah, it's not bad.
That's not bad. But you're still going with Sergey on this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Minus 300. I'm putting my own odds in there.
Next fight we have, this is an interim title bout for Brandon Moreno and Kai Kara France. I know who you're pulling for on this one. He is the favorite on this one, 205 to 175.
That's good. Love this guy, man. We watched him train every day when we were up at Glory. He is a workhorse. He travels with his team and trains with James and his guys. Also does his striking stuff with his striking coach. Goes back and visits his family in Vegas. He's from Tijuana, but they live in Vegas now. And he was, before going to James, he was literally training his camps at the PI at the
Oh yeah,
with just his couple guys.
Really?
Yeah, and he has another guy, I forget the guy in this corner, but he's also in the UFC. Roja, super tough, nickname Pitbull.
Okay.
And he's with him all the time as well. He fights at, I believe, 55. They're trying to get him dropped to 45. Or maybe he's 45, dropping to 35, but. His group is tight, you know, and I dig that about him, and his work ethic is crazy. The thing that's cool about this matchup, Brandon has beat Kai Kara France, and since that fight, they've both gone 4-1.
Oh wow!
Now, while going 4-1, Brandon beat Brandon Royval, who is the one on Kai Kara France.
Okay.
So he beat Kai Kara France, and so did Brandon.
Yeah.
So Royval and Moreno. And then Moreno's last 3 fights were Davidson Figueiredo. So you had the number 1 guy in the world 3 times in a row.
And he beat him. Was one of them?
He beat him twice. Well, he went to a draw with him once, rear naked choked him once, and then lost a decision.
Yep.
I don't know why this is for the interim title. I don't know what's up with Figueiredo.
I was going to ask that question.
Yeah, because that fight wasn't that long ago. Not long enough where they would have
January
stripped him or
22nd.
something.
It was this year.
Yeah, so I'm not sure what the deal is with Figueiredo. If he's injured and couldn't fight and wasn't going to be able to for a while or something. I like this fight. Kai Kara France is tough, man. He is a very good fighter. Just knocked out, I think 2 fights ago, he knocked out Cody Garbrandt and just had a decision win to somebody else, but he's very good. Brandon is a guy who came to the UFC, did okay, got cut from the UFC, went and fought on the regional level, came back to the UFC, and fought through and won the belt. So his story's phenomenal. His story is a true Mexican from Tijuana, right? Like, this guy is a workhorse. He busts his butt and he fights in the pocket. You know, he's a grinder.
Do you compare that story and that path similar to Oliveira? I mean,
yes, sort of. Yes,
right.
Same
it
thing.
feels like the same story.
And look at the run Oliveira's on. You know,
what? I
He's
think
the
he's
champ,
number
whether
2 or
he's
3 pound for pound best fighters right now.
Right. And even though he doesn't have the
killing
belt, he's the champ.
He's the champ.
So yeah, I'm going with Brandon, and I hope his very next fight is Figueiredo to unify those 2 belts.
So how does that work when you've already had 3 fights? You don't see a 4th fight very often.
Well, for sure you will this time, because so Brandon took a short notice fight.
Okay.
And went to a draw with him. Okay, literally took like a week notice fight with Figueiredo and went to a draw. They rematched because it was a quick notice fight. Brandon wanted a rematch, and because Figueiredo kept the belt because it was a draw and he was the title holder.
Okay.
They rematched. Brandon rear naked choked him. Okay, one-sided fight, like cleaned him up. And then because he was the champ for a while, they gave him an instant rematch.
Sure.
So they went instant rematch again. Brandon lost a decision. I don't remember if I think he won that fight or not. I just know that he didn't get beat. You know, he wasn't outclassed in that fight. It was a good fight. So I don't think, for example, Kaikar France wins this fight.
Yeah.
His next fight will be for the belt.
Yeah, they're ranked
Right.
number 1 and number 2.
Right. So the only way Brandon doesn't get that fight is if he was to not win this fight, because otherwise he's not going to fight number 1 or number 2 and then go fight number 5, right?
Yeah.
Like, he's next in line.
Yeah.
Because he didn't go anywhere.
Right.
So I see that fight happening whenever Figueiredo is back from whatever is keeping him away right now. That fight will happen.
I like both of them. You know, when you talk about kind of personas and what they bring to the ring, Moreno just seems super humble, he's a guy that you'd want to like hang out with. And from what I have seen from Kaikar France, I don't see him as being much different than that. I don't know that he's
he's
much of a trash talker.
He's not, and he comes from city boxing in New Zealand, where Adesanya,
Yes.
Volkanovski,
Yeah.
him. I don't. There's a girl there too. I forget who, but like, that's a stacked room, right?
Absolutely. He's got killers.
He does, but different weights. You know, it's not like everyone's at his weight. Where Brandon's at with Glory, he has 50 guys every day, and he has 20 of them his size. You know, so it's they both have great training partners. Oh, Volkanovski, he's not too much bigger. I mean, he's bigger, but I'm sure they train together a lot.
Volkanovski looks so big for what.
Well, it's because he used to be 220 pounds.
Dude,
He was a monster.
Yeah, he's huge.
But yeah, I see this. You know, they're both super humble. Brandon, man, when Brandon won the belt, I don't know if you watched that fight, but when he cried, it made me cry. It was so emotional. I was just like, oh my gosh, you know, and it was like
something to my eye.
Everything in his life you could tell was put into that fight, and he just
Yeah.
could not believe
Yeah.
that it came to fruition at that point in time, and it was awesome to watch.
I'm looking at the size difference, and Brandon is 3 inches taller, but he walks around at significantly lighter. They're saying that he walks at 124 versus Kai, who walks at 136.
So Brandon definitely doesn't walk at 124. The fight is a 125.
Okay.
He's probably 140, 145.
Okay.
You know, he's not a big guy.
Right.
He's not a big muscular.
He's not squatty.
No, and he's no. He's not 5'8", 170. He's not even super ripped. You know, even on the scale at weigh-ins, he's not super ripped. He's just real fast, and his timing and head movement, everything is very good. You know, I'm going Brandon on that fight, not just because I like him a lot and want to see him win. I just think he will win. However, I don't think it's going to be an easy fight.
So it looks like Brandon, based off of statistics, 58% of Brandon's wins are coming by submission versus only 13% for Kai. Kai looks like he's going to want to stand and bang. Brandon looks like he wants to go get to the ground.
Right.
You've talked a lot about this, that if you want to get to the ground and get control, that like the wrestler, the grappler can bring that fight to the ground.
True.
And win that way. But you've gotten burned a little bit on some of your predictions because people who should have brought it to the ground just didn't bang.
I can't make him do it.
Totally.
I can't make him do it.
Absolutely.
If he comes out and takes him down, watch how fast he's on his back.
Okay.
So fast. Like he is so good at getting the back, and he's so fast at doing it. I just hope that he comes out, strikes for a minute and a half, mixes it up, gets going, makes him strike back a lot, and then, is able to get the fight to the mat.
You're looking for that striking to open up for a takedown and then control.
Yeah, the more you strike with them, the more they settle into striking with you.
Yep.
And then, hey, guess what?
And then they're standing up a little bit more.
Gotcha.
Yeah. All right, well, I'm pulling for Brandon on this as well. That leads us to the other title fight, the main event, and this is cool. You don't see a women's main event. This is the main event of the evening. It's pretty cool to see this. PEñA versus Amanda Nunes. This is a rematch. This is a rematch of a fight that just happened really recently. I'm trying to pull it up.
They finished their fight. They both went on to coach the Ultimate Fighter, and now the Ultimate Fighter season ended, and now they're fighting each other.
I guess it was longer ago than I thought. December of 2021.
Okay.
Wow, I didn't realize it was that long ago.
Oh,
I felt like it was. I remember losing my mind when we watched this at my house because I had some people over, and I'm like, it's probably one of the biggest upsets.
Oh, it definitely was.
Ever.
That was like a Holly Holm Ronda moment for a lot of people, just because at one point in time, Amanda Nunes knocked out Holly in the first round, knocked out Misha in the first round, knocked out Ronda in the first round, and knocked out Cyborg in the first round. The 4 baddest champions the UFC ever had, she knocked them all out in the first round. So there was really no question who the number one girl was, right? Sure. And people, unfortunately, when you have someone that's that dominant, Julianna PEñA comes along and wins, everyone still thinks Amanda's a number one fighter in the world,
Yeah, I think that PEñA is coming in as an underdog. Yeah, plus 230, minus 275.
And I'll be honest, and it completely depends on the mental status of Amanda come fight night. If she is in it like she was before, I think she wins. If she is not, and has kind of gotten settled being a mom and made a lot of money and whatever, and then that happens, and that happens. It is a real thing. And then I see Julianna winning again. But something was weird the first time. Julianna was eating Amanda's punches, and I don't want to be like, I don't want to take away from her having a good chin. However, Amanda's punches didn't look like Amanda's punches.
Sure.
She didn't look like she was hitting like she used to hit. She didn't look like she had a killer instinct. Julianna was getting beat up but wasn't phasing her, and then she tapped early on the ground. Didn't even fight. I believe she was a jiu-jitsu black belt.
It seemed like that tap came really fast.
Well, yeah, she turtled and just kind of covered up and let the choke happen. So it was a weird night for me. I was happy that Julianna won, super stoked, but I don't think lightning strikes twice. But if it does, awesome for Julianna. And if this is one of those things where if Amanda does lose, I'd be done. Just
leave the gloves right there.
Yeah, because not because she can't do it. I believe if she loses to her, she doesn't want to do it. I believe she's in the place then where she's not mentally in the game anymore. And she's better off being a mom, being a wife, being whatever it is that she wants to do in the sport aside from fighting. Because what are you gonna do then? You now lost to her twice.
Now
so you don't get her next. You gotta cycle back through.
Yep.
And get a couple at least.
And that's what, 24 months to get back there.
Right.
18 to 24 months.
And how old is she? 35.
I was gonna look and see. I think that's about right. Let me see if I can find it really quick. But I think she's getting up there in age. So and PEñA on the other side of it, I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to find it quick. PEñA on the other side is only she's young in her career and she's starting to come up. So
Right.
I think that, she's only 12-4. So I don't know if I'm able to pull this up real quick. Let me see.
No worries, but I believe she's somewhere around 35
I think that's
or older. And I just
34.
think,
There it is.
34,
Yep.
okay. And 34, married, baby. I just think that, if she loses again and isn't dominant like she used to be,
Yeah.
I think number one, her heart won't be in it again.
Yep.
And I believe that it also most likely wasn't in it for this one as well. So I don't know. I'd like to see her pull it off, but I believe she's done regardless.
Oh, you think really?
I almost want to say I think if she gets her belt, she's for sure done.
Yeah.
But if she doesn't, I think she should be done, just because that means that she's not in it like she should be.
So that'll be a big deal, because if that comes true, she'll vacate 2 titles.
Yeah. I think she can go up at 45 and win all day because there's no one there. Like there's very, very few women that are fighting at 45. The skill level diminishes once it gets up there. And then there's girls like Kayla Harris in PFL at 155, where there's even less girls,
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate because between 55, 45, and 35, you can make a good weight class out of that if you could get all those girls to meet somewhere. But 45 is not really a strong weight class. I don't know when the last time Amanda even fought in that class was. And anybody else that would have vacated that belt and made an interim shot for, but I think they're only keeping that division because of her.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. If Amanda wins and you were in her corner, what would you be telling her to do?
How to win?
Yeah.
Striking. I mean, she's
really?
she needs Julianna's got better jiu-jitsu, I think. She's solid jiu-jitsu. Not that she's going to win off her back, but she does have solid jiu-jitsu. Amanda, I think, could come out and actually put her power up front again, and I would try to keep her on her feet for sure.
Striking. Okay. Who are you picking?
Oh. Did I not say that yet?
I was thinking about it. I'm like, I'm not sure if I know who you picked.
I'm going to go with Amanda.
Okay.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say that she's hungry for at least this one last time.
It's really hard to pick against her, but I agree with you. If she loses this one, I think that we don't see her.
I think Julianna even might be more skilled all the way around.
Okay.
I just think that if Amanda hits her like she used to hit people, if she still has that, I think she wins. I think she knocks her out.
But if she doesn't have that, you don't.
She doesn't win. She does not win a 5-round decision.
Okay.
I do not think she wins a 5-round decision. I don't think she lands the punches that she lands for 2 rounds and hasn't put her away yet, and it doesn't start to get in her head.
And you don't think she can beat her on the ground either? You don't think Amanda can?
Sure,
beat
she can.
Peña?
I just don't think that that's her game plan.
Okay.
I don't think that'll be her game plan.
Okay.
She could take her down, put her against the fence, and try to beat her up. I'm sure she's probably stronger than her, but I think she keeps her on the feet.
The weights, and UFC does weird things with the weights. Peña is listed at 135. Amanda is listed at 144. So
Clearly that's never accurate.
Right. Yeah. So I don't even know what that looks like. So, okay. Well, hopefully I can catch this. I'm excited to hear how this is going to go. It'll be a little bit of a delay before we get back to this because I'm out of town.
Yeah, I'm leaving to Alabama tomorrow to go coach wrestlers with Lucas and Tyler, and then I'll have to watch this in the car on the way home.
Right.
Getting back on Saturday night.
And
I was trying to get back here in time to take me and just drop me off at American Airlines that I'd catch the main event, but I don't think we'll make it back before like 9, 10 o'clock.
I'll be in Seattle, seeing my family, so I will miss it, but coming back, I'll make sure that I catch the highlights and we come back and we post this, and we'll have some good stuff to talk about. Pay attention to the picks, see what you guys think, and let us know in the comments below and stuff. And like, share, and subscribe to the channel. We'll see you guys next week.
It is all over, just like that.